Hey, what it do, baby boo? Hello. In this video, I am just going to be doing another analysis of Apdo's gameplay. For those of you who don't know, Apdo uploads like a shit ton of his games, or someone does uploads a shit ton of his games on YouTube, and I have become so much better through analyzing his replays and understanding how he plays the game and all that other shit. And I thought that I would start doing a series where I analyze pro players' games. I used to do the series like fucking ages ago, like a year ago or something, but for some reason I dropped it off. And I thought I'd do it again because there are some of you who are watching this who you're making mistakes that you don't even know that you're making, and you're not even aware of the amount of information and the amount of mistakes that you're making and how good you can get because you're not aware of that sphere of quote-unquote goodness that can come from players like Apdo and shit. So what I am is the quote-unquote mediator. I am taking that sphere of goodness and, extracting it, putting it into layman's terms and then giving it to you so that you can be better players. So yeah, let's just stop talking shit and get into it. Let's look at the matchups first, okay? I've written down like a couple of notes that I want to refer to during the game, which is over here, but I'm going to have this on this screen. But just take a look now. So we'll be talking about matchups, strategy, early to mid lane, early, mid, and late, CSing, trading, roaming, warding, and jungle pressure. That's all of the stuff that I can think about that has, all of the concepts that mid lane involves are these ones here. And then there's extra notes that Apdo does, like he's slow and steady, he's calculative as fuck. But I'm going to have these over here. So this is going to be like a long video, like I said. Oh, I didn't say that, but this is going to be a relatively long video, maybe like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So I suggest that you really soak this information in. I suggest that you're not in the Facebook scroll mode. You sit down and you probably soak the shit in. Let's talk about matchups. Orianna, first off, in the first place, is like a mid to late game team fighter, right? She's not really an early game assassin or like an early game monster like LeBlanc or some shit. LeBlanc does really good early to mid, but then towards that mid to late game phase, she doesn't do as well in team fighting and shit. Whereas Orianna's, she's pretty safe in the early game, but then mid to late game, she just scales off her nut and she just goes cray cray. But then specifically, this mid lane matchup is something that I want to talk about before we get into the gist of the video. Matchups are super important, and there's something that I'm sure you're missing out on, and the reason why I know that is because I'm missing out on them. I got to challenger with mid lane, and I didn't even know anything about matchups, and it makes me think, fuck, if I knew, the wealth of information that there is inside of matchups, I would have been so much better. But let's talk about this matchup in particular. The way that I picture matchups is that I picture the two champions fighting without any minions, okay? So if we picture Orianna and Jayce fighting, I think that Jayce beats her, especially level 1. And the reason that is because Jayce has 2 level 1 abilities that he can use, and plus his auto attacks are really powerful because he's AD, whereas Orianna only has her passive, which still does a lot of damage, but she doesn't have an extra ability, and that extra ability is legit ridiculous. Then you can move to level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. You repeat that same process, and you understand that Orianna's win conditions for this particular matchup is to either trade within her minions and shield herself. So if Jayce tries to fight her, she has to have enough minions for her to be protective, because you don't want to close that gap and let Jayce just RuneScape fight, scrap it out like this. Orianna's win conditions for this lane is to stay back and to poke with her ball. If Jayce does try to come in, she shields herself, and she has to have enough minions with her to win the trade. Let's go into this right now. And that is why you'll see that let's just play it. That is why you'll see Orianna pushing the wave. I think this is something that fucks me up heaps, is that he constantly changes whether he pushes the wave or not. He'll play a TF in Fizz game where he's TF and he'll freeze the wave over here, but then in this matchup he's pushing it, and it makes me think, why is he doing that? And then it's because of the matchup. It's because, in my opinion, I think it's because he knows that he will win the matchup if he plays it like he is now, with the ball, at 5. He just plays on the backside and just goes like this, he'll win the matchup. But if he comes close, if Jayce comes close, he'll lose it. He'll lose the trade. And that's why he's getting the minions pushing. Or at least he's trying to. See, he goes like this. Doesn't want to come in too close. And now he's got the minions with him. He loses this trade, but I think that was a mistake by him. More than anything else. Plus, if you look at it, Jayce has used a lot of his mana to, you know, to do the combo. But I want to mention one thing right now, is that the lane is practically over. Right now. It's, what's the time on this? It's 3, is it 3:03? The lane is practically over. The only way that this lane is going to start tilting in Jayce's favor is if Lee Sin comes. But then you ask yourself that question. You ask yourself, how the fuck is this lane over so fast, you know? How is Orianna winning this lane so heavily right now? And you go back to that concept of the matchup, the concept of the wave management, and also playing to her win conditions for the laning phase. I'm going to go back really quickly, because it's so fast and it's so hard to see, but once you understand it, it makes it, you know, really beneficial. So like I said about that matchup, you don't want Jayce to get close, right? You want to keep him back as far as possible. And if he does come into trade, you want enough minions to help you just attack, start, you know, jumping on Jayce. So as you can see right now, Orianna, Apdo isn't committing to the trade. He's like pulling back, and he's trying to, you know, every time Jayce comes in, he's trying to like dodge it like that, and then just get sneaky shots in. Like he just comes in, goes back, and then he hits her with a Q, or he hits her for auto attack or some shit. So he walks back, he tries to get the Q, but little does fucking Jayce knows that he wasted like more than half of his mana in that trade, and now all Apdo has to do is heal up and zone when possible. So look, now he's getting the minions pushing again. The problem with pushing the minion wave is that you open yourself up to ganks, but then you add more pressure to your wave. And look, look at his positioning in the wave, so he knows that he can beat Jayce in a trade now because he has no mana. So he stands more aggressively, he stands more upwards. And look, Jayce is more scared to come up. Proc the Thunderlords. That's really important with Orianna, is getting the Q-dub auto attack, because it's an easy way to proc the Thunderlords. Same thing, look at his positioning. It's really far forward because he knows he can beat Jayce now. See, look at that shit. The lane was won. The lane was won like a minute ago. It was won. The lane had only been going for a minute, and he's already won it. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's because he understands the matchup. And look at, like I said, the only way that he's gonna lose this lane is if Lee Sin comes. What the fuck's my coffee? Yo, skirt. Oh shit, I spilled it. That's gangster. And this stuff is actually good. This stuff right here, with the jungler comes. If you can attract the jungler to your lane and waste his time, that opens up so many opportunities for your mid laner. Sorry, for your jungler. Your jungler can get vision in their jungle, he can counter jungle, he can go for a counter gank, he can gank the opposite side of the map. So that's another really good reason as to why pushing the lane is good. Because if you push the lane, obviously it opens yourself up to ganks, but if you have the right vision, and if you play it smartly, you can draw the jungler and just waste his time. Fucking honestly so smart. Waste his flash. Once he goes back, I'm going to stop this video, write some notes and shit for you to summarize the essentials, and then we'll crack back into it. Who's that girl, bro, by the way? Like, she's like in all of his videos. I wish he got... Okay, if they bring up the CS soon. Then I'm gonna do it. Hold on. Oh, that's not CS. Hold on, I just waited for the CS. Oh, here it is. So he's already up 9 CS, which is more than a wave. Jayce missed a lot of CS right here from the turret. But let's talk about, part 1, we go understanding the matchup, playing to your strengths, avoiding your weaknesses. And this concept is replicable among every matchup. Specifically in this case, you think about, like I said, Jayce versus Ori. For Orianna to win, she wants to stay back with her ball and go like this. You know, like, she doesn't want Jayce to come in and give her a hiding. So you stay back and you go like this, okay? This is your ball. You keep your distance. You make sure that Jayce, you know, he can't hit you with EQ if you have minions with you, and if you know, position a little bit back, because I know if you're grouped up, blah, blah, blah. But if you have the minions pushing, it's going to be harder for him to hit you with the EQ, which maybe is another reason as to why he pushed the wave, because that's his main source of damage. And if he gets the wave pushing, the chances of him hitting an EQ on her is, you know, super low. Plus, if the wave is pushing, then Jayce, when he trades with her, he just stands within the minion wave, and then the minions just give him a fucking hiding. Okay, so play to your strengths, which is to fight like this in this particular matchup, and avoid your weaknesses, which is close quarter combat. If you don't have the wave pushing with you, then also jungle pressure. Just be aware that when you push the wave, you're going to attract jungle attention, which can be a good thing. Because if you attract jungle attention and you know that it's coming, you can do what Apdo did, just waste Lee Sin's time. You can give Rumble time to ward up counter gank, which is what he did, and they blew Jayce's and Lee Sin's flash. And the main thing is you waste his time. You waste Lee Sin's time. Early to mid game, for a jungler is super important. It's like where the jungler is supposed to shine. And the more that you can just waste their time and just, you know, muck around and shit, the better it is for your team. So these two, understanding matchup, playing to your strengths, avoiding your weaknesses, jungle pressure, opens up opportunities for Rumble and CS. Also wave position. So when Apdo knew that he won the lane, that the lane is over, he just positions himself in a place that zones Jayce from the XP and the gold. So the wave is here, he stands here, Jayce is over here. He can't get gold, and hopefully he doesn't get experience as well. Okay.
제이스 약간 바텀 갈 것 같은데.
总觉得杰斯会是下路。
This part's pretty interesting. See, I don't know why he's not pushing it to hit the wave here. I always think about this shit. I'm like, why isn't... His wave management is ridiculous. I'm like, why isn't he just not heavy pushing it? Maybe he thought it was because he knew Jayce didn't go back to base. I don't fucking know. I suck, bro. I suck. I suck at this game. I don't know what I'm doing. But now, same concept. The wave's pushing. Jayce won't be able to hit an EQ. Or, like, the chances, like, are super low compared to if it was pushing towards him. See, now he's pushing it. I don't fucking understand. And he knows Lee Sin's bot, so he can play... Lee Sin's bot... Camille is top, so he's Gucci. He can just play as aggressive as he wants. See, look, same shit. Keeping it back, boom, boom, boom. Just staying like this. Bang. See? It's ridiculous. Set up dive. See you fucking later. Lovable. And you just remember, I'm sure this Jayce is a fucking mean player. And Apdo's just like spanking him. So let's not like pretend like this Jayce sucks at this game. If, you know, Apdo's just so smart with his wave management and understanding of matchups. He doesn't have to use his mechanics to... Which apparently he doesn't have good mechanics in the first place. Like, well, at least great mechanics. Same shit. You win the lane, you start pushing the CS towards you, towards the enemy, and the jungler comes to pick it up because it looks like wasted XP. You know, so jungle's like, okay, I'll go pick up their wave. But at the same time, that gives Rumble opportunity to dive. It gives his position away. It gives Lee Sin's position away, which he's supposed to be strong early to mid game, and he's wasting his time, you know, picking up waves and shit. And this build part's just, you know, the typical. I think if Jayce was snowballing, or if he was being a bit more aggressive, I think he would have went Ninja Tabbies. Yeah, he 100% would have went Ninja Tabbies, because they have 4 AD damage people. Lee Sin, Vayne, Riven, Jayce. I think he would have rushed Ninja Tabbies. If he was, yeah, if Jayce was playing more aggressive and they were doing more trading like that. But I'm not 100% sure of that, so don't, like, take that as definite. So Jayce will be coming to this soon, 100%. It's like Jayce just goes top. Oh, okay, never mind. Jayce will be coming to this soon, 100%. He's like at Baron. He's like Dawn Baron. Nah, see, look, Jayce. Apdo gets like legit tilted as fuck off this stuff. It's so funny. He's like, oh, blah blah blah. Okay, let's look at the decision making here. He's giving up. He's not pushing the wave right now. He's roaming to the fights. Apdo and both Faker and my coach, the one who taught me how to play LoL, taught me that these fights are super important. These little early skirmishes, because they are what snowball the game the most. So be very wary of this. The wave is pushing, but he's making the decision to. Sorry, the wave is there, but he made the decision to roam down right now and try and help out his team. Because this is more important. At this particular time, this trade is more important. And now it's quite simple what the strategy is. It's just to harass Jayce as much as possible, get the turret, and hit that mid to late game power spike that he's trying to hit. Because that's where Orianna properly shines. Bro, if you think like he's giving him a hiding now, Orianna's such a fucking gangster champion. You should wait till he hits that mid to late game. Like, it probably won't even hit the mid to late game because of how much of a hiding he gives this team. See, look, same shit. Boom, go like this, go like this. This is Orianna's the champ that I climbed to Challenger with on my mid. It was Orianna and Syndra. She's so fucking gangster. I love her straight up. I'll be her uncle. No. He's gonna miss it. Shane, you suck. No. Same shit. Staying back. Blah blah blah. Getting some sneaky auto attacks on the turret. Zoning Jayce from XP. Now, sorry, from gold. The thing that is interesting is that if the whole team is giving them a hiding, right? I wonder how it would be if bot lane was losing. I wonder how that would be. But then you also have to remember the fact that Apdo drew Lee Sin to his. Look, he's done it again. He's probably gonna give her a fucking Shanna docs. Yeah, look at this shit. So he drew Lee Sin to his lane like at least 3 times, which takes away the pressure from the other lanes that Lee Sin can affect. Does that make sense? So the game is over now, unless they like decide to go full OCE and throw the game. And now, okay, so the 2 parts. Okay, we'll go part 2. This is the 2-part. Quote-unquote formula to winning the games is starting the snowball, so getting the advantage, the small advantages, and then just snowballing the fuck out of it until the point where you win the game. So he has the advantage, obviously, and that was done through here. Okay, so this is starting the snowball, creating the advantage about understanding the matchup, playing to your strengths, avoiding your weaknesses. Ooh, excuse me. Jungle pressure, opening up opportunities for rumble, CSing, and wave position. This is how he created the advantage. But then the part 2 is this. Because heaps of people, they get the advantage, they fucking have no idea how to use it. Okay, so you take turrets fast. Take turrets fast. Gives you more map pressure. Lets you into jungle easier. Like easier, you know. You can go further into their jungle without the scare factor of there being a turret, you know. What else? More gold, obviously. And the ability to roam easier. Heaps of shit. So take turret fast. This is how you snowball the lead. Join fights. Can I speak English today? Or type English? Join fights. Vision control. That comes from map pressure. You know, it's just you do a bunch of these things, it'll start to naturally happen, okay? Join fights. Yeah. See, look, so once they've taken this turret, they rotated top. The next two things for Apdo in particular to keep the snowball rolling is join fights and take turrets, okay? So look, there's a fight happening top. And he's going to it. He's not pushing the wave here. He's just heading towards top because it looks like there's about to be another fight, which is, like I said, these early fights are so fucking important, legit. Does he have ulti? Oh yeah, skirts. Legit, bro. When I saw this, because I've watched this replay today. I watched it this morning. When I saw Lee Sin go on Apdo right here, I was like, are you fucking stupid? Apdo is 2 levels above you. He's got Morellonomicon. He's got ulti soon. And you're level 7. You have Tiamat. You don't have like enough items to burst this dude. But maybe his idea wasn't to kill him? I don't know. But I was like, that's so stupid. See, look, push, join fights, take turrets, push. This... Oh, fuck. Is he gonna die? Oh, he got big dualies. This part here, he's just like... I think he's just being, you know, he's just pushing the wave because he wants to go back to base. Yeah. How much gold has he got? He's got, yeah, 1.6. Then old Vayne just decides to go big dualies. Yeah, see you later. See you later. Bang. Bang. Come on. Ah! Oh, okay. Oh, Soraka, bro. Legit, that was all Soraka, 100%. Gave her that young heal. Gave him that young heal. And like I said, all of this stuff now is textbook, okay? Take turrets and join fights, that's it. Push. The only other pressure that would have to be worried about is bot lane. Because Riven's pushing. But because the pressure isn't like that much, it's only the first tier turret and he's getting second tier. It's worth, the trade is worth. And it's not like she's even got it yet. See, look, get vision control, take turrets. It's textbook shit. Once you get the snowball rolling, it should be simple, like once you know these concepts that I'm talking about. Taking enemy jungle camps, which gives Lee Sin less experience to farm, which makes him less strong. You know, it doesn't make him as strong as he should be, which makes him weaker in team fights, which means your ability to team fight and win the team fight is lessened. See, but you see how that snowballs? Like, one jungle camp, which means Lee Sin has one less, you know, jungle camp to take, which means less gold and less experience, which means when he joins fights, he's not as strong, which means there's a less chance for him to win that team fight and more chance for Apdo. It's fucking ridiculous, but that's the idea of the snowball, with these little leads. And like I said, okay, the same concept over and over again. Just take turrets. Hey, how the fuck did everyone die? I think in this instance, he knew that the time that it would take to go down maybe isn't as worth, and they're gonna die anyway. So he just decided to push mid anyway. But this doesn't really matter. They're still gonna win the game. Or maybe they just complete completely throw this game. All they have to do is group and force a team fight. They'll win it, and then they'll GG it. See, they're just grouping. Give him this Shana. Yeah, scared. That's interesting that he wasn't scared to use his ulti just then. Maybe he knows because it's 4v5, it just makes... He just wants to secure the 4v5 so they can take an inhib. Makes it easier to take inhibs or some shit. I hope you understand this shit as well. This shit's simple. 2 mid, but the jungler's bot so that they... Jungler's bot so they try and Baron. Which they get it. Where's the team fight at? Holy fuck. Holy shit. So he forced the fight, blah blah blah. Take turrets. Steamroll, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's talk about, like, let's summarize all this shit, okay? The most important thing is this, okay? There are different parts of League of Legends that you have to understand. There are different concepts, different parts of the games that each require its own individual type of attention. Does that make sense? The early game, the mid game, the late game, matchups, strategy, CS, and also the concept of the snowball. There's the 2-part phase. There's the part of getting the snowball rolling, you know, starting it, and then just snowballing it out of control. There's the 2-part phase. For Apdo, the way that he and that's how they won the game, okay? That's how games are won, is through the snowballing shit. So there's the 2-part. The first part is this, understanding the matchup, which allows you to strategize accordingly, okay? So he played the way that he was supposed to. He goes like this, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't let Jayce come in, and even if Jayce does come in, the minions are there to help him. Plus, the pushed minion wave means that, yeah, extra pressure on the wave, and the chance of Jayce hitting an EQ is less because, you know, he's got the minions to block it. Good CSing, good wave position to stop Jayce from getting any gold and maybe XP. But that's how the snowball was started. And also the concept of jungle pressure. There are a couple of times, 3 times, where Lee Sin came mid, and because Apdo knows that if he draws Lee Sin to him, it gives Rumble the opportunity to go and counter gank and make plays on the other side of the map. And also, the counter gank was really super important because they blew Jayce's flash and then they dived to mid. They dived Jayce again later on, a couple minutes later. That's how he started the snowball, okay? Understanding matchups, CSing, trading, and jungle pressure. The next part is the part 2, which is how to take that advantage that you have and snowball it to create the win, okay? So the snowball's already rolling. To go even faster, you take the turrets fast, gives you more map pressure, lets you roam into the jungle easier, more vision control. Join fights, okay? Always look to be joining these fights. They're so important. They have such a big influence on the flow of the game. Vision control, which allows you to set up objectives. You know, it just helps you to make more plays. You have a better chance of winning team fights because you have control of vision. You can see shit and they can't see shit. And also, this one is super important. I forgot to mention this one. Take enemy jungle camps. Okay, try to do your best to take like these ones or wolves whenever possible, because it just means less chance of the enemy jungler coming back. And he has to go farm like the waves in mid lane or some shit, which makes Jayce, you know, go down. I'm going to continue to do these videos, both for mid lane with Apdo and junglers in particular. Maybe ADC at some point, but mid lane and junglers. I'm going to do these videos because I think they're beneficial for you, and if you think these are beneficial, I ask that you either like the video or you comment below. You do something to let me know that it's beneficial. And also, yeah, I fucking forgot what I was going to say. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to end this here. Yeah, any questions, put it in the comments below. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube because I started streaming, and I like to think that I'm super educative, because I can say that word, educative, or I'm good at teaching people shit, especially with League of Legends. I've legit done like thousands of hours with analyzing replays, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking too much shit, I'm sorry. Have a good day. I love you, stay beautiful. Shana Docs.